And I said in the title of the video, there's going to be some alpha, and I'm going to drop that alpha. And that's why I said to make sure you watch the video to the end to get the alpha somewhere in this video.
Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Cryptoslo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? A quick XEN NFT tutorial today. I think there's a lot of confusion surrounding these NFTs, why you should be getting them, and what's the overall purpose of the NFTs in the ecosystem. So let's start with number one. That is, there are three types of XEN NFTs that you can mint: Apex, Limited, Collector. Okay, so three. Each one has a different use. Number two, this is important. All XEN NFTs, regardless of class, Apex, Limited, Collector, will create more XEN, okay? Let me repeat. All three of these classes will get you XEN back, okay? Number three, let's talk about why you want a XEN NFT. XEN NFTs allow you to mint more XEN repeatedly on the same wallet. That is key. So if you just use your wallet and not an NFT, you go to XEN, you hit claim C rank, you mint, and then the wallet's locked for basically the duration of the stake, and then you can mint again. So that limits you to one wallet, okay? With the NFTs, you create an NFT and you can decide how many wallets you want to be inside, encapsulated. So think of it as a container of wallets, and you can have up to 128 wallets in one NFT. And as soon as it mints, you can mint another one, okay? So that's key. So on a single wallet, you can have unlimited NFTs. So if you're multi-walleting, unless you're trying to op-spec, move your security across multiple wallets, just use the one wallet or two for security and mint the NFTs. So the XEN NFTs allow you to leverage the ability to create virtual wallets, and that's a confusing part, on the same wallet. So number four, VMU. VMU is the number of wallets, but they call it virtual wallets because they're virtually contained within the NFT. Okay, so let's say your goal was to have 500 wallets. You could mint up to 128 per NFT, and you would mint 3 or 4 NFTs, and you'd have 500 wallets. So no tracking 10,000 wallets in your MetaMask. It's just stupid to do that at this point. So number 5, let's talk about the uses of each one of these NFTs. Let's start with Apex. Why are Apex important to the system, and what do they do? Apex is for the person that is trying to collect historical NFTs. They are limited to 10,000, okay? All right, let's get into it. First, we have the Apex. There are only 10,000 of these. So after 10,000, there will never be any more Apex NFTs, number one. Number two, Apex NFTs require you to burn XEN in order to mint. So you have to have the XEN in your wallet. So an Apex unicorn is 10 billion XEN, which is about 21,000. Plus, when you mint it, you have the gas fees of one wallet to 128 wallets, which is another $500 to $600 on top of the XEN that you're burning. So basically, you're throwing away 10 billion XEN, and you're paying the $500 or $600 gas to get that NFT. Now, the next question you have: does a Apex NFT create more XEN? Does it get you XEN back? Because you burn it, now do you get it back? The answer is yes, okay, but slowly. Like, I looked at a couple unicorns, and they burnt 10 billion, and most of those unicorns are at like 3 billion-ish back. So once it reaches maturity, you might just break even from what you burn. Now, strategically, am I buying Apex? At the moment, no. Now, if the price dips low enough, to me, it might be worth it. But you have to have extra cash in your bag. So if your cash is tight and you're trying to participate, then the Apex is probably not for you, because you're basically burning that money away. So I burned for a Unicorn, I'd burn 21K. I'd spend $500 or $600 on gas, and then I got to wait 440 days. So I spent $22,000, and then I got to wait 400 days. And I hope that that Unicorn is worth something. So remember, minting is much more efficient than burning, okay? Because of the cost of the Zen you have to put into it. Now, if you did stakes and your wallet's fat and you've gotten free Zen per se, then I would see that would be a situation to use the Zen in your wallet if you didn't pay for it, besides the gas, to mint an Apex as a collecting type situation to have in your portfolio. Limited. Okay, there's a lot of confusion around the limited class of Zen NFT. So Zen NFTs are similar to collectors, but there's some little differences in it. So a limited Zen NFT requires you to burn, once again, but limited will only run for 365 days. Now this is very odd to me, because as part of the ecosystem, I just don't know if it makes sense. Once again, similar to the Apex, limited makes sense if you've already collected some stakes and you already have the Zen to burn. So if you burn it, you have to put that Zen up front, and then you mint the NFT, you pay the gas up to 128, 500 to 600, and then you gotta wait 400 days, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So you ask, why would I even want to get one then? Well, this is important. I did mint one limited. I burnt 250 million because I had some Zen in my wallet. And I did this because of the next token that's coming out. You'll get an airdrop of Next, I think, if you have a limited or Apex. And now they're talking possibly a collector. You might get a Next airdrop. So I just got it to, basically so that I can get in and participate in Next. Okay? I'll talk about Next in another video. It's not really good for this video. Okay. So 128 limited with 250 million burn, it starts right out of the gate around 3 billion-ish. So that answers the next question. When you do a limited, do you get more Zen? This is nowhere in the white paper. The answer is yes. Again, let me repeat that any of these NFTs, you do get Zen back once your date of your NFT comes to maturity, okay? Finally, collector. Collectors. That's where I have focused most of my concentration on building and accumulation. Collector NFTs are unlimited. So, that was something I forgot to say about the limited class. Limited class will only run for 365 days, then you can't mint any more limited class. So it's odd, like I said. So for the next 365 days from the start of Zen NFTs, you can mint the limited. Okay. Once again, limited makes sense for people that already have Zen in their bags, or leveraging it so that you can get some Next token. Back to collector. Collectors are basically unlimited. You earn Zen, and you can have as many of them in your wallet as possible. So let's say you had a goal of 1,000 wallets. And most importantly, you don't have to burn Zen to get a collector, okay? So that's a very, very, very key point, is collectors don't require you to burn Zen. So collector burns Zen, collectors you don't have to burn, limited you have to burn, Apex you have to burn. So burn, no burn. So if your goal is fat accumulation of fat bags of collectors, then of Zen, the collector NFT is what you want to focus on, okay? And I said in the title of the video, there's going to be some alpha, and I'm going to drop that alpha. And that's why I said to make sure you watch the video to the end to get the alpha somewhere in this video. Okay, so I'm stacking my collectors. They start off around 2.7 billion, 3 billion right now, okay? Now, let's talk about these NFTs. Right now, strategically, and this is kind of my last final point, is let's talk about the parameters that you use when you actually mint the Zen NFT. Number one, VMUs. That's the number of wallets you want inside that NFT. Keep in mind, each time you bump that number up higher, it gets multiplied by the gas. So if you get a good mint, it's around 350 to 450 a wallet. So if you did 100 wallets, expect a $450 gas transaction, okay? So basically, now, if your goal is to ladder out your collectors, okay, then you might not want to do 128s. You might want to lower it and keep your budget a little lower, so you know you can stretch it out. So if your goal is to make it that 400 days and then your stakes start unwinding, then you can ladder it and you can mint the whole 8 years. That's a really big concept there, but we'll talk about that here a little more in a second. So then you have to pick your days. 30 days unprofitable, 90 days unprofitable, 200 days starting to get profitable. At this point, you want to go max pain. You want to go the 443 days or 444 days, whatever it is at the moment that you do the stake, okay? Just because it's more likely to be profitable. Because remember, there's a gap between when these stakes come due, the long stakes, and you know where the project is right now. So you make it to 400 days and then you start looping. Now, some alpha tidbits. Number one, what is my ultimate goal? My ultimate alpha goal is max pain. I go for the 440 days and I try to mint one a week, one every 2 weeks, whatever your budget, so that I can stretch it out over the 440 days, so that at some point I'll have stakes coming up every week, every couple days, and I'll have coins, liquid coins. That's alpha tip number one. I'm laddering the stakes. So here's the alpha. I'm tiering my stakes across the 440 days, so that in 440 days, I will have a stake coming up with coins, you know, every week, every 2 weeks, every day, whatever, however your budget, however you set. So take whatever your budget is, divide it across the 440 days, and then set your VMUs accordingly, okay? And that way, when it comes to unwind, you'll have stakes coming out, you know, frequently. Alpha tip number two, don't forget you have to unwind these stakes, okay? Now, from what I've heard, it's about 30% less than what you went in with. So if you spent $500 or $600, it's going to cost $300 or $400 to unwind that stake. Now, keep in mind, the gas price of Ethereum could go up. We have no idea what the gas is. So don't mint too many NFTs on the same day. Otherwise, you're going to have some very expensive days, because remember, you'll get penalized if you don't redeem that NFT when it comes due. Okay, it's the same penalty system that's in the normal place of normal staking. So, you know, a smart person, let's say that my budget was $3,000 to mint NFTs. I divide it by the 440 days, maybe by a number of weeks. I'd probably divide my budget in half, because remember, you have to have gas to unwind these stakes, okay? Now, keep in mind, you could always sell one of those NFTs on OpenSea to get money to pay for gas, you know, whatever, to unwind the future ones. But kind of the whole concept is if you take the max pain route, you'll have these coins coming up. Maybe you only have to sell part of the coins, and that gives you plenty of money to unwind. Plus, there's all kinds of upgrades coming, you know, flash loans, this, that, lending. You may be able to borrow on your other NFTs in order to pay for the gas. So, you know, there's some variables out there that will make it so that you can unwind those stakes. But as a general rule, I wouldn't, you know, bank on it. Make sure you have budget to unwind some of those stakes. Now, here's the big alpha tip with Next token. A lot of people were buying, we had this little pump on Zen. A lot of people were buying Zen in order to participate in the Next token, because you have to burn your Zen, you get Next, okay? As I said, it's kind of a king of the hill type thing. The person who burns the most Zen gets the most Next, okay? So I don't know how deep your bags are, and it depends if you're in profit, you know, if you're rotating off stakes and stuff like that. But here is the sweet part about this. Jack mentioned in one of his streams that you'll be able to use your NFTs that haven't matured yet to get Next. So that's it. That's the alpha. So instead of going, so like one of my Centurions right now is worth $6,000. Okay, I paid $500. Dashboard money is $6,000. I could go to market and buy Zen, or if I want to participate in Next, I could simply burn one of my NFTs, which keeps me from having to go to market to buy that $6,000. So in essence, it allows me to participate at a $6,000 level in Next for $500, which I put into the NFT. Okay, so in a way, you can kind of leverage your NFTs to get a higher value of Next without having to go to market and buying it at current market price. So that's pretty sweet. Now, how hard am I going into Next? I have no idea, but again, my focus is Zen accumulation, because I think in the next bull run, this thing is set up to be woohoo, island money, baby, island money. Like, and people don't see that, you know. And I'll talk about Zen in one of my other videos, you'll see. But so anyways, I hope you enjoyed my Zen NFT tutorial, and if you have any questions, be sure to post them down below, and you know, we'll get into that. If you haven't seen my other video on how to mint Zen NFTs cheaply, be sure to check that out. I'll put that up in one of these corners, so you can click on that video of what my strategy has been to make sure that I'm getting you know, the best value for my gas and the money that I'm putting into it. So with that being said, like, subscribe. As always, this is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.